Hey, welcome back. Just want to touch base on a topic this month that I'm starting to see more and more of. What happens as we continue to play golf is our forearms are rotating, and then if you can think about what happens at impact, there's excessive vibration that comes up through the muscles and into the joint where our flexor tendons and muscles and extensor tendons and muscles attach, and that's right on the corners of our elbow. So the inside part of the elbow is called the medial epicondyle, and the outside part of the elbow is called the lateral epicondyle. Those epicondyles are just attachment points for the tendons that connect these muscles to that joint that help us flex and rotate the golf club, okay? So if you can think about how many hundreds of golf balls we're hitting during a season and how many thousands of golf balls when it comes into hitting balls, practicing, chipping and putting, and then actual just playing golf, it can happen on either arm, on either side of the elbow, okay? But it can also be very debilitating. So you could have medial epicondylitis, inflammation at that joint, or you can have lateral epicondylitis, inflammation of the outside of the elbow. Okay? Sometimes it's called tennis elbow, sometimes it's called golfer's elbow. Just depends on what your sport is and usually which side of the elbow it's happening on. Okay? But I want to offer you some ideas if this is something you're dealing with for how to start to clean it up a little bit. For the most part, rest is always going to be the answer. So the problem is with golfers, once we get in season, and for a lot of you that have traveled this winter to continue to play golf to extend our season, there is no such thing as rest. Golfers aren't going to chill out, especially when we know the season in the Midwest and Chicago specifically is short. We're going to cram it in as much as we can. And that's exactly what I did last year, and that's exactly what a lot of us did in 2020. We had time, and we were working from home, and we'd just shoot out the door, play 36 on a Friday, 36 on a Saturday, 27 on a Sunday. Well, these epicondyles take a beating. So, one of the things you can do, if this is something you're dealing with, and it is excruciatingly painful and debilitating right now for you, one thing you can do is buy what's called a choked strap. That actually straps here, which is in front of the epicondyles, which helps absorb or eliminate that vibration all the way up into the epicondyle. That's why it feels better, but you're not actually really taking care of the problem. You're just masking the pain by putting that strap on. Okay? However, like I said, if you're not going to rest, that's a good starting place. Buying a choke strap to help minimize the vibration from going up into the tendon. So that's number one. Number two, if you've got some 3 or 4 or 5 pound weights, you can lay your forearms down on a bench or a countertop or whatever you've got and start to strengthen those flexor muscles. If you're curling up with your palms up, palms down and you're lifting that up, that's your extensor muscles on top. It flexors underneath, extensors on top. You can strengthen both of those, and then you can also do some rotational movements, okay? Which I don't know if I would add even more rotation to the therapy process, since that's what's causing the problem in the first place, okay? I would just stick to flexion and extension with some very light dumbbells, okay? That's number one when it comes to actually using pieces of equipment. So you've got the choke strap, you've got some flexion and extension, then you also have where you can keep your elbow straight and pull those fingers down to stretch all that out, okay? Elbow has to be straight for that to work though. Or if you go over the top, elbow straight, you can pull that down and stretch the extensors, okay? And then the last piece of the puzzle, if you wanted to freeze just a small solo cup, you could take it and actually do like self-ice massage on those epicondyles and on those tendons to help start to minimize some of that inflammation before you get into taking a Aleve, an Advil, and ibuprofen to mask the problem, okay? But in general, rest, you can start to re-strengthen it, you can start to stretch it a little bit, you could wear a choke strap, and you could do ice massage. Those are the big ways to start to correct what you may be feeling that could be debilitating in your forearms, okay? Just think about every time you grip that golf club, those forearm muscles are working, and then when you add rotation and vibration, it's just not going to end, okay? So it's kind of like plantar fasciitis. If you don't deal with it, it can hang around for a long period of time, and it can be excruciating, okay? So I would recommend getting a hold of this if this is something you're dealing with. The last idea would be some KT tape. If you've ever heard of Kinesio tape, you can do some taping on the forearms as well. Again, you're just masking symptoms, you're not taking care of the problem. So until you start to rest it, re-strengthen it, get rid of that inflammation, that's how you're going to turn it around, okay? So if that's something you're dealing with, those are some great ways, some great ideas you could run with. If you have any further questions, I'm always available. My information is always below. But that's a big one that I've never dealt with in the newsletter that I'm starting to see a lot of golfers deal with, just because we played a ton of golf in 2020, and I don't see it slowing down in 2021, so you better get it figured out, all right? So if you have any questions, let me know. The Masters is right around the corner. Spring's coming in Chicago. Happy to get outside. Let's play together. Talk to you soon.